Chapter 37. Further doubts. I say, in one way, yes, but in another way, not at all. Yes, if the Essenes can wake the dead like the Nazarene, then you are right in every respect. But there is a real Essene among the disciples of the Nazarene. He was sent out either to fully win the Nazarene for their great institute of illusions, or at least to entice out of him the secret of how he heals his sick and wakes his dead. But when he soon convinced himself that everything was accomplished by the Nazarene openly in front of everyone's eyes, and without any artificial tricking devices, simply with the old words, "Let it be," he left his fraudulent Essenism and revealed all the tricks and became a true disciple of the Nazarene himself. He is standing there under a tree quite alone. Go over and discuss it with him. Another of the 8 answers, "Friend, there is no need for us to do that, for I know Essenism down to its basics. It is splendid and praiseworthy, but basically a deceit, and the Nazarene has never gone to that sad school. But I am for the Egyptians. For the Nazarene must have great friends among the Romans, and through them one can get to Egypt." I say to the second speaker, who was called Rebar, "How did you uncover the secrets of the Essenes? For as I have heard, such a thing is hardly possible without danger of death." Rebar answers, "Friend, with much money and a certain amount of all sorts of smartness, you can go anywhere. Naturally, one must not be born yesterday, so that behind what one is shown, one also sees the other things that are not shown. But obviously, a considerable amount of particularly cunning sharpness is also required. And so, I would like to check out the good Saviour of Nazareth just once, and I set my word on it that he will not fool me. But if he really has what one says about him, and what the really highly wise Matthal demonstrated, well, we will know to value him like Matthal. Only one thing confuses me, and that is that he takes disciples. I say, if his business is purely divine, no disciple will ever be able to imitate him, even if he studied in his school for a full eternity. But if the business is human, then the disciples are quite understandable. For what one person does, another person can also do, if he has the knowledge and the adequate means. But if the business is, as I said, purely divine, imitation will eternally be impossible. For the whole omnipotence and wisdom of God is needed for that. I say, my friend Rebar, you do not speak bad at all, but you are basically wrong. For a God can certainly also pull some special ones out of the numbers of people and educate them, as he educated Enoch, Moses, and many other prophets, so that they then became teachers of humanity and pronouncers of the divine will to the people on this earth. With this exception, you seem to be on the wrong path, and will not be able to get the better of the Saviour of Nazareth. With cunning, you will encounter a very powerful and invincible opponent in the Nazarene. I know him, and know that a human cannot get the better of him. For in 1,000 things it is difficult to reply to even one. Rebar says, "It all depends on a test." I have often heard such antiphonies and preludes, but in the end it all came down to a saying of the Romans. Si, tacuisses, philosophus mansises. Had you remained silent, you would have remained a philosopher. And so the before never mattered to me, only the afterwards. I never anticipate and never pass judgment on what I have not tried myself. But if I have tried something once, then I rarely make a bad judgment. Instead, I almost always hit the nail on the head. Are you perhaps one of his disciples? I say, not exactly, but still one of his foremost friends, and I know him the best. At this exchange, several people can hardly restrain a hidden smile, and no one misses even a word.